My name's Louis Muller, and I am the son of the artist Suzanne Marie LeClair. Suzanne has been painting, my mother's been painting since the 70s, late 70s. And what we have here is we're sitting amongst the majority of the body of her work on these walls, on these racks, on the counters over there, and you know, all throughout the condominium here, townhouse. A few years ago, my mother and I invited a friend over to her place, and he was telling us that one of the things that we needed to do was start to get this stuff cataloged. So my mother took about 6 months and went through each one of the paintings and developed a number system, and also wrote about each one of the paintings. So so for the first time now, we're taking the information that she compiled, and we're putting it into the computer, building a database and matching all those paintings with all that information that she has spent the last few years writing about. And you know, it's a monumental task. I've often sat here thinking that this was close to possibly raising the Titanic. I mean, you know, you got to understand, and you will understand someday, that each one of these paintings, there's so much symbolism, there's so much going on, and there's so much of a story that, you know, to the untrained eye or somebody who's not familiar, you can't even possibly get it all at a quick glance. So we're trying to get that married up and get that synchronized, get the information with the paintings into the computers, so we got a solid working database, and so we can do things from here going forward with her art, because she's long overdue some notoriety and some acclaim for her accomplishments. From what I've seen and doing some art studies, I've yet to see too many people that are in the same kind of category. So that may sound a little bit bold or arrogant or obnoxious. Obviously I'm biased, she's my mother, but once you get to exposed and you really get to take a look at her work, I think you'll see what I'm talking about. But we're sitting here today, and you know, we've been talking about what we're gonna put out there, and what she feels comfortable with, and I hope she gives us a good story. I know she's got a good story, but really it's all about her, and I'm just a facilitator at the time. You got anything else, Mom?
Well, we run into conflict frequently, because there may be a lot I know about a painting and I'll say part of it, and I have a hard time. I don't want to reveal other parts of it. If there's other people involved, I try to be very careful and not say anything someone else wouldn't want to have said or known about them. And this is a struggle that we get into a lot, because and there's some paintings that I don't want up at all. So we do have some struggle going on, trying to iron out what's going in and what isn't. And then I'll say something, and they'll say, well, and later on I'll tell them a little more, well, you should have said it before. So it's a difficult process. It's a time-consuming, at times frustrating, confusing process. So wish us well, you know. I think we're getting to know each other better, I'm sure. Although we have different opinions on a lot of things. And we're struggling it should be said is said. And, maybe that's what I need to do is pray about that and say, well, what you want said, let it be said, and what you don't, guide me to do and say the right things. And that's all, right?
True stuff. Shit sets you free, right?
Yeah, but, anyway.
I get your respect for
Respect for other people's
for other
privacy.
people's privacy, but at the same time,
And yet it's hard because I paint so many other people.
the style, most of the people are not recognizable. That's
The
why.
way I paint now, a lot of times, I'm the only one that knows what it is anyway.
Right.
So
I've lived around these paintings for 30 years and didn't even know who most of these people were. So I mean, the idea of somebody coming back and saying, hey, that's me in that painting, good for them. You know what I'm saying? I just want to capture as much of this as we can, but at the same time, ultimately, it's her work, it's her paintings. She's the boss, and what gets put out there is her final decision. I'm just trying to help and make sure that we get as much accurate and as much detailed information as we can.
Okay, you ready to start?
All right, back to the grind.